Okay, welcome to the Go for Diamond call this evening. And this is the first Go for Diamond call this month for the month of May. And this evening, Tammy and I want to share with you the 5 simple strategies to keep momentum. You can see here some of the points that we're going to be covering, and of course, we'll expand on that.
But before we go there, we just want to say congratulations for all of your achievements for the month of April. It was a lot of fun driving through the blitz and keeping each other accountable. And so for those of you who have done your numbers, I just want to say kudos to you, because it takes a lot of effort and commitment to stick to the plan and to be on track, especially on a daily basis. I know people get so accustomed to working 5 days and weekends off, and when you're driving these momentum sessions, it's every day, day after day after day, repeating the same things. But that's is going to get you into momentum in building this business model. You know, I know that it's important to sharpen the saw, which is really, really critical. And I'm sure you took a couple days to do a little bit of that, hopefully this past weekend. But those of you who are serious about driving numbers again, you know, today is the 4th of May, and we're committed to keep the momentum going. And so we hope that all of you are participating in this as well.
Yes.
So Chris talked about the 5 simple strategies to keep this momentum, which is critical. And that is, we always talk about it. I don't know how many times we mention it over and over and over again, is to have that attitude of gratitude all the time. Always be grateful, because sometimes, you know, when you're building and maybe your team members are not as active as you are, and, you know, it's easy to go into a disappointment mindset. And you don't want to do that. You always want to be grateful for everybody who is within the organization. You know, always support them at any level they're willing to commit, because we all know that not everybody's going to commit to the same level that you're going to commit. Everybody comes in this for their own reasons, and it's a volunteer army, the network marketing profession. And so always be grateful. You know, there's a lot of associates over time that you'll find that'll come into this business, into your organization, that are what I call a glorified customer. And that means they love the product. They want to build some customers from time to time, but they're not 100% committed into building this as a business model. And you have to honor and respect people for every level and every bit of commitment that they're going to put into the business. And that's why we're always saying, you know, if you're continually out there connecting with new people, you're always bringing new business into your organization. Okay, so having that attitude of gratitude is critical in building this, and also being grateful for everything that you have. Often, you know, people are not happy where they are and they want to be there, but they forget the importance of gratitude in the moment. Gratitude for everything that you have, and everybody who's around you, and all the love and support, and everybody who's around. You know, not focusing on what's not there for you, but rather focus on what is there, right? And be grateful for what is in front of you. And, you know, a lot of people kind of listen to us, they go, yeah, well, it's easy for you. You know, you guys are at a certain level and you guys had some success. But I can say that our gratitude was equally as important, even in that struggling phase. And I truly believe that we're brought struggle for a reason. And sometimes we don't understand it in the moment, but there's a reason that this is happening. And sometimes you've got to sit back and reflect on all of this to see if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right things. So these are things that Chris and I do. We sit back and we reflect a lot.
Now, before we continue, I just wanted to confirm, if you can type in a Y for yes, if you can see my little blue kind of marker moving around, I'm sharing something for the first time in a different way, and I want to make sure that everybody is seeing this. Are you seeing the Go for Diamond call? And okay, perfect. It's just I don't see my little green square around this anymore, so I want to make sure it's still okay. Perfect. In line to what Tammy said, and this is really, really important, and I want to thank everybody for joining in this evening. I know often we start our calls with, a really good attendance. As we move in time, the attendance seems to reduce a little bit. And, after 20 years, 20 plus, 25 years now, I mean, we've been doing Max for a long time, not Max. We've been doing network marketing for a long time on a full-time basis. Obviously, we've been doing Max almost 14 years now. And the one thing that I found is one of the reasons why people lose momentum and stop the growth of their businesses is because they stop showing up. And if they stop showing up, their downline, the people in their business stop showing up, and it's a chain reaction. It's like brushing your teeth every night, every morning. Well, I hope you do anyway. I do. So, if you stop getting into the habit of brushing your teeth twice a day, you understand that when you go see the dentist, you'll have more bad news than good news. And everything in life is like that. In this business, sometimes you don't feel like making that one phone call. You don't feel like following up. You don't feel like you're calling your associates and say hi. And, trust me, I'm guilty as everybody. The thing here is that you have to keep that in mind, because if you want to build a successful, prosperous organization, it is very important to stay the course. You don't need to race every time, all the time. That is not human. There will be a moment where you will lose steam. You get tired. The motivation is just not the same. What I'm telling you is don't completely stop. Always stay the course. You're jogging, you're tired, walk, right? Maybe increase the walking, your walking pace, if you understand my analogy, but don't stop. I had a call maybe a week or two ago with Kelly, and we talked about, the importance of continuing the recruitment aspect. And Tammy was just talking about this. And it's the recruiting aspect where, you might have done really, really well for a few weeks, and then you hit momentum, right? And then, people are coming in, and then you start focusing all your time in supporting this small group that may or may not stick around, but you stop doing what got you there. So when these folks decide to stop, then you feel discouraged because you feel like, well, I don't have anybody to work with right now. Well, if this is the case, then this is the reason of your problem is you stop doing what you did that got you into the momentum of getting these folks into your business. Some people will follow through thin and tough, and the words are not coming in, thick and thin, no matter what, they'll be there. They'll just go right through. But many, many folks, they will not. They're not made that way, right? The moment is a roadblock. That's it. It's done. Now, what else is there? And that happens a lot. And sometimes they'll come back. And sometimes through the process of going, coming, eventually they recognize that, you know what, this is a really good place. And then the commitment will increase, and their effort will increase in line with the vision that they're having by being around you, because you have been consistently doing your calls, doing your training, attending the presentation, and doing the prospecting. And this is very important. So all of this is in your attitude towards your business. And if you listen to the little video that Tammy posted this Sunday on gratitude, this is another thing. Being grateful for what you have. We tend to, us human beings, we always thrive for what we don't have, for what we don't, we don't have in the moment, right? We thrive for what we want. And unfortunately, the catch-22 on this is you tend to focus your thought on what you don't have instead of focusing your thoughts on what you do have. And if you're always in that state, what's going to happen is whenever you have a bit of success, you kind of dismiss it. So it becomes irrelevant. So then you're not focused on it. So guess what? The results are not going to show up again, or it's going to take a much longer time for you to see it again, because your thoughts are always on what you don't have. I'm telling you, I'm sharing this with you because we can teach you the ABCs of this business till you blue in the face. But there's an attitude that you need to develop towards your mindset, towards this business, towards anything you do in life. You know, I follow a lot of different courses, right? Because I like to broaden my horizon when it comes to knowledge, especially when it comes to business and investments. And you know what I find really interesting? All this stuff that we talk about in network marketing about focusing and having a positive mindset, a positive attitude as a winner. I hear this all the time into these investments. Has nothing to do with network marketing. Why am I saying this? It's because in life, it's all focused. It doesn't matter what you do, that it is your family life, your marriage life, with your relationship with your children, your relationship with God, your relationship with your religion. I mean, again, you understand what I'm trying to say. Whatever you're focusing on, be positive. Have a positive attitude towards this. I cannot stress this enough. And I'm telling you, this is when things are going to change for you, because the stuff that we're doing today, it's really interesting, but I did it 20 years ago. But why did 20 years ago I struggle? I was in a gutter. I couldn't make a penny. It was tough because my mindset was not ready. Today I do the same thing, but the right mindset, night and day. You know, before we get into goals, do you have any other thoughts on that?
No, I was just remembering one of the things that Chris used to say when I first met him. He used to say, I have to bleed to succeed. And he literally bled. I'm telling you, this guy had some tough times. He had some crazy stuff go on. You know, you read some of the stuff in the book, but you know, when you put it out there that things come easily, even though it's not easy, just put it out there. You know, that things come easily. You know, I'm always attracting incredible people into my business. I'm attracting entrepreneurs in my business. Like whatever you put out there every day and you continually repeat to yourself, eventually it's going to come back, good or bad. And we always say that, good or bad. So that's why it's so important to have to constantly work on that attitude of, you know, positiveness, being grateful all the time. And we're kind of focusing all on the attitude here, but that's really, you know, when things started to change for us, it's because this got better and better and better and stronger and stronger.
You know, you listen to Anthony Robbins, you listen to Eric Worre, you listen to Worre, right? Worre. Yeah. You listen to, my God, Warren Buffett. I mean, you know, the furthest you can think of network marketing, right? But they all comes down to the same thing: mindset, positive attitude. And Bernadette, you know, wrote a really nice comment here, and feel free to read her comment in the message section here, folks. You know, it's gratefulness. It's so important, so important. Moving on to the next point, and wanting to keep momentum. It starts with you. Then now we need an horizon. We need to see something, right? Nobody wants to get in a car and drive and not knowing where they're going. Nobody wants to waste their resources and waste their time getting on the road for what? Of course, it makes absolutely no sense. You've got a specific destination as to why you're going from point A to point B. So the same situation occurs in our business, and you need a target. This is absolutely critical. And I'm not just saying, well, I want to be a bronze associate. I want to be a silver associate. I want to be a gold associate. This is important because you need the steps in your goals. But what are your goals in life? In fact, there's something that I've learned a lot from Stephen K. Scott, and I'll never forget that. And it's about your dreams, right? You start dumping your dreams on a piece of paper, or grab pictures and stick them on your back, you know, in some kind of a, you know, processor, you know, a board or whatever. And then once you have your dreams, the things that, don't worry about how much can I afford it. This is all crap. Excuse me the expression here. Don't focus on that stuff, because it will prevent you from focusing what you really do want. Focus on what you want and have these dreams. And maybe if it's simpler for you, just on a piece of paper, and just go nuts and write down your dreams, the things you want in life. And then you break your dreams into goals. So this is when you start structuring your ideas. So your dreams are going to be defined. They're up here, right? And then after that, you go down and then you set your goals in the second layer. And then your goals are in line to those dreams. Okay, so what are the goals I need to achieve to get to these dreams, to get to those dreams? And then the goals will break down into steps. Okay, what are the steps? Or I should say, what are the tasks? I guess it depends how you look at it. What are the tasks that I need to do on a daily basis or weekly or monthly basis? What are the tasks that are defining my goals, that are defining my dreams? And it goes down to the steps. You can rotate the task or the steps wherever you feel, but you understand the lower level is the little daily activities like making the calls, right? Like today, I think I did 3 calls. I had 5 calls and I spoke to 4 people. I think 4 people out of 6 actually. I spoke. The other 2, it was voicemails. And what I do, I send a text, I send an email, and I leave a voicemail. If I spoke with them, I will let them know. I'll send them a text and an email. Why? Because often, email end up in junk mail. People don't get them. I don't trust emails, but I still use them because, it's part of our society. But I always follow up with a text. 99.9% I know they will receive the text, right? And then, so these are the steps towards the tasks that you need to apply and to achieve on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And this is what I meant earlier when I go back, where when you start the process, don't stop in the middle of it and get distracted for 2-3 weeks. Because it's like the example of a plane, right? A plane, you want the plane to take off, you stop. Well, guess what? All the momentum's gone. The plane is not going to take off because you started the motor an hour ago. No, the plane is not in motion. You have to get in motion and stay in motion and keep moving. Eventually, there'll be enough momentum for the wind to catch and to push the plane, propel the plane all the way up. The business is the same thing. You can't be in a full stop. You've got to stay the course for you to achieve. So
when you're looking at goals and targets, let's talk about the month of May, because I find a lot of people, they don't break it down on a monthly basis on what target, financial goal they want to achieve the end of May. So write these things down. Always be prepared at the beginning of the month. As I teach in my Max Breakthrough 90-day program, is you need to know at the beginning of the month the end goal at the end of May. What is your target in connecting with people? What is your target in presenting? How many presentations are you going to do in the month of May? How many, and you have your sheets too, your activity sheets that can help you and guide you for that. So how much money do you want to earn? How much volume do you need? Active volume on your left leg and your right leg in order for you to earn that money. So when you have a plan and you know what you need to do, then it's going to be a lot easier to wake up tomorrow morning and know exactly how many people you need to talk to in order to do your numbers. And on average, it's 1 out of 10 will really have a look at this and possibly join your business. So it gives you an idea of how many people you need to talk to. And the better you get, the numbers get better. And that's why we're always saying, practice, you guys. You got to be practicing. You got to be constantly doing presentation and connecting with people. So make sure you work your May goal now. I mean, this is the time to do it so you can execute it and reach your target for the end of May.
Yeah, I think it takes the time to do this.
Yeah.
Again, go back to other classes and other lessons and other things that I was telling, and often I take other classes because I want to know how are they structured in teaching associate and teaching their students. And it's really interesting because we all do the same things, and they spent a significant amount of their time doing exactly what we're talking to you about right now, is creating the environment, structuring the environment, and have the right mindset to be able to have that direction for you to get to your ultimate goal. So when you notice here, I type in activeteamtraining.com. Okay, it's a domain that's pointing to the success cycle here. So if you look at the success cycle, skills that you need to apply. Now, we talked about in April because we just finished the April Blitz. But these success cycle, for you to fall, okay, again, we talked about, okay, what are the tasks? What are the steps that you need to do to accomplish the tasks? Maybe some of those steps is I need to go back and listen to those recordings to see how they verb their approach on prospecting, inviting, following up. What do they say? What do they send? Right? All the information is there. So one of the steps that you may want to do is go through the success cycle series, right? If you go to Active Team Training, if you want to get a bit more information, simply go to activeteam.com and select video and pick one of the icons that is appropriate to what you're looking for. You should learn how to enroll someone in Max and all of these details, right? So this again could be some of the tasks that you need to follow up. Again, to recap, for those of you that might have just came in, from your dreams down to your goals, down to the steps or the tasks, and then the steps to achieve those tasks, right? So again, very important, if you want to stay in momentum, first of all, you need to start, which many of you are starting to have some great momentum, but if you want to stay in momentum, not only you need to apply this, but the people that you brought into your business also need to apply the same rules, right? And by the way, if I happen to be stopping your video, please don't worry so much. It's because I'm trying to avoid, I tend to be distracted to all the movements and I tend to lose my thoughts. So, and I know that some of you are also looking for, that concentration. So if I do that again, please don't mind me. I'm just doing this to have a kind of a flow to our training process here. Okay, so again, number 3 is the success cycle series. Take the time. I know sometimes it's boring to sit in front of a monitor and listening to these things, but you need to show up for class for you to get the results. The irony is everything that's in these success cycle series it's everything that Tammy and I have been applying and teaching from day one. Some markets, as you know of, are thriving with crown diamonds and diamonds. It's the same information they got. Same information. It comes from the same seed where it all started. So the information is there, folks. Don't think that you need to go across the world and learn from that person that has reached a certain level to think that you're going to get better results. No, you won't get better results. It's again, it goes back into the way you perceive it and the way you think about it. Right?
It's really simple to connect with people. I know a lot of it now is through social media, which is really great because it's easy to set up a FaceTime chat. It's easy to set up a Zoom, just, get an account. It's free to get an account. And then you just invite somebody in or a couple people. We've done that today, even spontaneous. We've had interest after people watching videos. And we said, hey, I'm just going to send you a Zoom link. Let's connect. And then you create that connection right away. And then we go through that one-on-one sheet where they see the basic, the glutathione, a little bit about the products, and then science, and then going into the 3 steps: the auto ship, the prime, building the prime, and building the binary. And that's basically what we show people. And then we walk them right into the max.com site, click on join. So we're putting them in the process of actually joining the business. And some make decisions quick, some need to think about it. But if you're doing this on a regular basis, you're going to get traction. I'm telling you, it happens when you're constantly, actively connecting with people.
Don't get emotionally attached. As much as it's difficult, because we're human beings, we get emotionally attached no matter what I say. It's normal. But be aware that don't get emotionally attached to the outcome of what a person may or may not choose to do. And I think this is what I mean by that, right? So, because if you get too involved and too attached to their results and they're not applying, they're not showing up, you become a liability now. You become affected by it, and it affects your performance, right? So it's very, and I'm not saying to be insensitive here at all. It's the opposite. You're there, you connect, you support, but don't get attached to the outcome. It's not your fault if someone chooses to say, you know what? I don't want to eat breakfast this morning. I don't want to go for a jog. I want to eat hamburgers every day, right? It's not your fault. If they choose to make those decisions, there will be consequences. to those decisions. What you are is you're guiding people towards a step. And this is what network marketing is all about. I believe that our industry of network marketing is probably the most important school outside of the school system, because I do understand we need a foundation of math and literature and all that stuff. I agree. But when it comes to learning in the field, I think network marketing is the best industry ever to teach, especially a brand new mind, a new person, right? And a person that's just fresh out of school, because it contains all the elements that are necessary for you to succeed. If you succeed in network marketing, I assure you, it doesn't matter what company you work for, you are a major asset.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
because there's so many skills that you learn in network marketing. And I just wanted to expand on what Chris said, is not to take things personally. When you're busy and your schedule is full and you're constantly putting people through the information and you're following up and you're setting up a Zoom and you're doing the closing section where they're making a decision, when you're busy, you don't have time to get emotionally attached.
that's true.
You really don't. So if you're getting emotionally attached to one or two people, then that's a sign that you need to go out and talk to new people and constantly bring new people to the table, because people are looking right now. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of networkers out there that are talking to people. So if you don't talk to them, your friends in your warm market, then somebody else is talking to them and they're hungry and they're looking. So you got to make the decision to be actively engaged in connecting with your contacts.
So the number 4 point here is the discipline to keep you on track. This is absolutely critical. It's kind of what I started sharing at the beginning of this call, is staying on track. Stay the course.
Accountability partners, Chris.
Don't deviate.
You're the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that, but it starts with you. At the end of the day, often we're looking for this external motivation, right? We were brought up by our parents that way. We were brought up in the school system that way, right? So in many different environments that we were brought up where there's consequences, right? There's an accountability by default that you can't get away from, right? But the thing is, this is the difference between successful people and the rest of us, is the successful people have disciplined themselves to do the activities no matter what. And they're accountable to themselves. Now, of course, having an accountability partner, I agree, it helps,
especially
because
when you're new.
Yeah, exactly. It helps, especially when you're new, because we are brought up in a society that has forced us into follow accountability. I mean, the law, the tax system, doesn't matter what we talk about. There's accountability and consequences if you don't follow the rules. But there's a space in the middle where there's no accountability. You can choose to do it or not, right?
And I think if you're single and at home, it's easier, not to do it. I mean, that's when you really want to get an accountability partner more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if you have a partner at home and you're aligned with the same goals and you'll be supporting each other, but it's also good to partner up with the team and set some goals together. It's a lot of fun when you're doing it among a group, and then you're cheering each other along the way and supporting each other along the way. So it's important. I mean, I know that it's important to say discipline yourself, discipline your disappointments. But when you have somebody behind you, you get that motivation even more.
Let's talk about number 5, action with traction.
Yeah. Actively building every day. This is what we do for a living, you guys. It's for those of you who are full-time network marketers that don't have jobs, then you know what you need to do. It's like it's like getting up every day and going to your job. It's the same thing. You wake up, you have your schedule, you know how many hours you're putting into your business. Those of you who are more serious than others are going to put in more hours than others. It's to have that focus and those 1 hour concentration focuses on prospecting for a total hour, no distractions. Following up for an hour, no distractions. And you leave your office and you go and have your lunch and you go back in your office just like if you were leaving your home to go and do a job. It's the same thing. There's nothing different, because when you're running a business, you're running a business. So if you're not making money, it's because you're not serious about your business. It's that simple. You're not serious about building it. You're not disciplined to sit down and create those hour powers of prospecting, inviting, following up, doing the activities that we all need to do to build this business. Our business is driven by new business constantly. If you bring a new person in this business, they have contacts that you don't have. They know people that you don't know. So if they're going through their connections and they're building their teams, momentum is kicking in. And as they start bringing in their teams, you need to be there to support them and train them and guide them along the way. So this is what we do, you guys. So actions should be a normal activity every single day. We shouldn't have somebody telling us that we need to do this. If you're building Max, you need to put the hours in, you need to do the right activities, and you need to do it on a consistent basis to create that traction, that momentum in your business.
I totally agree. And as we end this call here, and I think it's very, very important that we follow up on some of those things, again, is where to access the information. So from there, sorry here, that is not what I wanted to share. Here we go. No, not that. What happened? Oh, God. Okay, here you are. Okay, okay. Can you guys confirm with me here that you can see the screen right now? www.activeteam.com. Again, it's just okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Just to confirm here that the details, we talked about accessing, the trainings. So if you go back, the call tonight will be right here, the Go for Diamond call video, right? So what we'll do is we'll put the call, will be the first one here at the top. You want to learn how we do a one-on-one, it's over here. Again, miscellaneous trainings, it's over here. Here's something that's very important. We talk about accountability, right? There's a document that we recommend for you to be aware of. If you go on Canada, USA, you select English, and then from there you would select training, another training, you would select a new associate orientation. And within there, you will find for example, that's a spreadsheet on an action report. That's a PDF sheet, okay? This is a one-on-one, new associate orientation is over here. This is a one-on-one presentation, right? You click on that, you can download it. And I know that it's been translated in Spanish. I believe that it was, it is put up. It is put up. I know it's right there. Aurelio, I think, did all of this. So again, the information is available to you, and make use of it, right? Last point that we talked about here, the Success Cycle series. Here it is, right there. You click on that, and these are the trainings that I was telling you about, right? I think, folks, it's really important that you do your homework, and not just you, but your organization also needs to be plugged in. The calendar over here, right? We have all the details, presentations. We have Spanish presentation, French presentation, English presentation. You just select the actual appropriate webinar, you register for it, boom, it's done. It's really that simple. So in closing, folks, as we finish this training, I think it's very, very important that you keep in mind that it is your business and you need to be accountable for your activity. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what to do. Don't wait for your upline to bring spillover, or these are deadly attitude, right? You don't want to go there. If you happen to have someone who happens to be in your binary by your upline, hey, wonderful, thank you. But otherwise, It is your business. It is your life. Do the work. Left side, right side. Tammy and I never rely on an upline to do the work for us. We did the work. Did we have an upline that started? Yes, absolutely. But none of these people are existing today, right? It's the work that we put in that is existing today. So we took ownership of our business and we stayed the course. And this is how you stay in moment here, folks. So I know that Luz has a Spanish presentation tonight at 9 o'clock. If you have anybody who is actually, Luz, just go ahead and don't worry about private. Just send it so everybody can see it. So just send it again, but not privately. Okay, so that way everybody will have an opportunity to see it. Phenomenal. Arnaldo does really good presentation. Luz, I'm assuming you're participating in there. I'm assuming Jose, you're there too. Rhino, I think you're also. So, folks, work together, connect, and share the information. Max is an important message today, very important message. It's not just with a wonderful product, but it gives an opportunity to inline consumer to benefit for sharing with other consumers. Any other points, Tammy, as we end this call?
No, we're good. Just have an awesome week, everybody.
Wonderful.
And action is traction.
So, okay, I'm just going to stop the recording before we finish here. One moment.